the first thing I always want you to do is check the bolster, okay? The way you do it is you walk up to your client, check the drapery, make sure it's all nice, make sure the bolster is right underneath the ankles, okay? If it's not underneath the ankles, if it's at the shins or even past their feet, it's something you don't want to miss, and it can be uncomfortable for them, okay? So check the bolster, make sure it's at a good spot. If you need to move it, go ahead and move it. All right. The second part is checking the drapery, okay? Making sure that it's kind of symmetrical all around the table, right? Last thing you want, and they don't know what it looks like because they're face down, right? They're our client right now. So we want to make sure that when we go to start doing our draping, that we can do it effectively without exposing it, okay? Good, good, everybody looks good. Good, good, good. All right. The last and final step is we want to check their head cradle to make sure it's at the right spot so it's comfortable for them, right? Here's exactly how I want you to do it, all right? I want you to squat down next to them, put your hand on their shoulder, and say, is that head cradle in a good spot for you? All right. All right, the reason I want you to do it that way, let's say that our client's hard of hearing, and we're nervous anyway. We're like, is that head cradle okay? Yeah, no, okay, whatever. Right? That puts your voice close to their ears so you can communicate with them. Otherwise, they don't know what we're doing. They don't know it from our perspective. Okay? Very important. All right? You want to come up here? That'd be easier for you? Sure. Okay. All right. So, let's say that Marcia here is our partner. All right? And I walk in, I check the bolster already, I checked her head cradle, make sure everything feels nice and comfortable. Everybody come close. I want to show you how draping is when we expose a certain area that we're going to work on. Okay? And normally I use the front table here just because it's easy. It's easier for everybody to come up here than congregate in the middle. Okay? Take the top fabric and pull it back. Not all clients, but some clients will completely disrobe. Okay? If they've had massages before, if they're comfortable, or if they need their glutes work. They'll completely disrobe, which is fine, not a big deal. However, when we go to drape, we're going to take our left hand, we're going to put it on the left shoulder, we're going to take our right hand, we're going to trace it right down the spine. Okay? If she didn't have underwear on, I would still stop, and that would be my stopping point. Okay? But since she does have underwear on, or pants on, I'm going to tuck it just like that. Okay? And then that's just like that. See that nice hard line we have there? The last thing you want is this. You all nervous? You're not sure what to do? That could be a nightmare, right? Because as massage therapists, this is our boundary line. This is where we want to stay. It's comfort zone with our client and with ourselves. Last thing you want to do is have this client and you're going up underneath those sheets, trying to massage that lower back. Kind of weird, right? Last thing somebody wants is, ooh, right? So the draping is very, very important, and I'll make sure that you guys do it perfectly so it's done every time the right way. Okay? Hand on the left shoulder. I'm going to trace it down the spine. Locate the undergarments. That should be tucked. And don't be nervous and be down there really fidgeting. Some people going, what are they doing back there? You know, just tuck it in, draw the straight line, and pull the top layer back.
So what if they do completely disrobe?
If they completely disrobe, and let's just say that her back stopped right here, I would stop my fingers there, and then tuck it on the sides. Okay? And there will be a lot that will, especially in clinical. Once you guys get to that point, a lot of people disrobe. They want their glutes worked or whatnot. It's very, very common. Okay? Any questions on that? Now just remember to make sure to take that top layer, if you have a cover on top, that you move it first, because if you don't, here's what's going to happen. Now you've got 2 layers of fabric to deal with. You try to tuck this in there, it's going to be tough, because that's more padding that you've got to stuff into their undergarments, basically, right? So always pull the top sheet back and expose a little more than you would think you need to, right? So we can almost see our lines right here. If I stopped right there, trying to be modest for her, it still wasn't far enough, because it was still getting your way as a therapist, student therapist, okay? So we want to pull it down a little bit further, and then our draping begins. Cool? Any questions? No? All right. Let's do it. One more.